Hey everyone, this is JB Bremerton here with a review of Red Dead Redemption. I've been looking forward to this for a while, and of course it's a Western game. You probably heard of it, you know, a third-person shooter in the Old West, or at least the Untamed West. This takes place in 1911, and you are John Marston, who is a former outlaw or sort of released from jail for whatever reason, and he has to go and make a name for himself, either for good or bad. He has to go find his old gang members and either become a bigger outlaw or become a really great hero. So this game is probably one of the better made games I've seen in a while. It is in the sandbox style because you don't have to do everything so linear. In fact, that is kind of a problem to some extent because I have seen better ways to present a story. I've not exactly been able to follow the whole thing because there's so many tangents on there. A lot of the side missions, you know, don't really have anything to do with anything else. Some of the mini missions, I mean, they just kind of jump up on you, and you don't know what to do other than what you do best is like to kill people, either the bad guys or the good guys, depending on what your fancy is. I always tried to be the good guy, so I didn't do too many things I wasn't supposed to. I mean, I did. The thing is, I mean, the aiming on here is kind of spotty, if that's a word you want to use. I mean, there's a little spot in there. It works as the crosshair, but you can barely see it at times, and you can end up shooting the wrong person. If you're going for the criminal, you might end up shooting the civilian, which is not a good thing. So, and it does kind of affect your scoring as far as fame and honor go. And even if you do the honorable thing, it's possible that the good person gets killed by the bad person, so your honor will go down anyway. That scoring is kind of off. They should have probably done something more of like a lesser honor scale rather than just giving you negative honor. But anyway, the design of this game is very beautiful. I absolutely love the way this world looked. It is an open world. As you can see, the backgrounds are just excellent. I mean, it's so realistic. Characters are just, they look very real. I mean, it could have been a little bit better as far as, you know, smoothed around the edges, but I mean, there's really no complaints there about how well this game looks. Aiming is kind of strange. As I said before, you can end up shooting the wrong thing. But the way I had the aiming set, I just zoom out, then zoom back in to go to the next target, which kind of reminds me of the aiming in Call of Duty Modern Warfare, which I never really figured out on there how to do that part. But doing it on here was very much easier. Although sometimes it wouldn't zoom in the way you wanted it to. And then, of course, the enemies hide behind cover as well. So you gotta kind of watch yourself and shoot them at the right time. The controls in here were okay. They kind of got a little confusing at times. Horse riding is really nice. Only another thing is, for the most part of the game I played, I couldn't really go anywhere unless I was on a horse. I mean, of course, you can walk, but that'd take too long. But then the horse, it takes a while too. Then you get the option of using a stagecoach, which only works for the waypoint you set or another location you've already been, at which location you would have most likely bought rental property. Found lots of ways to make money. You know, you go hunting for animals, turn in their skins and feathers, or the meat. There's also lots of games to play, like poker games. There's a 5-finger fillet game where you gotta try to like win the game without like cutting your fingers off, which I thought was very pointless. No pun intended, you know, pointing with your fingers. Yeah, that wasn't funny. And also there's a blackjack game, there's a horseshoes game. if you want to work on your skill of aiming. It is kind of difficult to figure that out, but poker game was really fun. I found myself immersed in that for quite a while. And of course, you can always go back to these games and keep on playing. During the poker game, it was kind of funny. I just wanted to see what happened if I pulled my gun. All of the guys at the table stood up and started pulling theirs. So I, of course, didn't shoot any. I just put my gun back, and they kind of were shaken up a bit. Voice acting is really nice. I mean, you're even just talking while you're writing on things, so that's pretty cool. There's plenty of damsels and good guys and bad guys. You gotta save people from being hanged and all sorts of things like that. You get attacked by coyotes and wolves, and you get to loot the dead bodies, even if they were the good guys. And it's just all around fun. I mean, it gets kind of old after a while, but then after a while of not playing, you just want to play again. And of course, can refill your medicine. There's maps for different parts of the game where you can find certain herbs and plants that you're looking for. Lots of very creative missions, like finding bouquets for people. Also ways to break horses and lots of different ranch work. One you gotta stop a herd of cattle before it falls off a cliff. It's pretty interesting. And a lot of these missions here where you're shooting the bad guys, a lot of times the rest of their gang comes up and starts shooting at you afterward. So you got to keep on your toes when doing these sorts of things. But anyway, this was Red Dead Redemption. Really great game. I do recommend it. It has a few glitches here and there, but hey, it's not bad. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter, and I will see you next time.